This is Fred Beck from Fred Talks Fighting. I'm joined at 4:30 a.m. It's good to do interviews this early. I'm joined by Sneako. You're a very busy man, Sneako, so it's good to speak to you again. Thank you for coming on the channel. How's life treating you?
Live streaming, great. It's been really busy. I always love speaking to Fred, one of the best fighting journalists in the game.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Likewise. I mean, the last time I spoke to you was at the Brown Risk event last year, actually. First interview of 2026. You've been in the headlines quite a lot. We'll just go straight into it today. The offer you had to fight Andrew Tate. Do you really think it was a fair thing to do to leak it like that? Something that's private and confidential?
Can do what I want. I'm not signed to any corporation or any organization. You know, they've been disrespectful. Mams apologize, and I appreciate that. I have no disrespect, but in the past, they were extremely slanderous on me to try to bait me into a fight. And I could do what I want. And also the new CEO has been lying on my name, slandering me, went on a whole apology tour about something, blaming me, trying to throw me under the bus and get me to be the fall guy. So I don't think I owe these people, this organization, or the new CEO any sort of loyalty, and I would do it again.
It's not. I don't think it's about like owing them something, but I guess it's just a general matter of respect when something's private, when a contract's private, and they said please keep this private and confidential about sort of not leaking it. Sort of like if I was to text you saying, "Sneako, please keep this private, but so and so is fighting so and so," would you not sort of could you keep it private? I mean, trying to make fights or do business when stuff's getting leaked, it just makes everyone's
Yeah,
lives a bit more
it
difficult, you
depends
know?
on your. Of course, they made my life difficult, and it depends on your relationship with the person. Like I said again, Mams Taylor said a lot of negative things about me in the past. Did apologize, and same thing over here. The new CEO, Top Goy, he was saying that I played the song and that he never liked the song. You know, he tried to essentially ruin my life so that his life could succeed and he could keep making money doing what he does. So no, I don't see like any sort of loyalty. I think that you should be loyal. Like if everybody is here listening to a song and enjoying it, I think in that situation, same thing applies. Like there should be some sort of like, okay, let's not go rat over to, the PBD podcast whose platform Netanyahu and this stuff. There's loyalty. Like, okay, if we're all involved in this, then let's keep a united front. At least if we're going to say we're going to escape the matrix in a Bugatti, then okay, a song and being afraid of playing a song, escaping the matrix is playing it. And so when none of that loyalty was met, you think I'm going to be here and still apply the same logic? Absolutely not.
I guess it's two different people though. It's to Tate who you've fallen out with, and it's Mams who you're now cool with again. Or I guess not anymore, but was cool with.
Well, he hasn't messaged me. I doubt he's extremely happy, but I hope it is what it is, regardless of what's happened. I mean, it's not like we're best friends. Don't want to bring it all up now, but Mams Taylor said a lot of. I didn't even know who this person was beforehand. To be perfectly honest, not disrespectful. I thought that Mams was a woman. I didn't know who this. It was the shadowy person that people spoke about and said like, "Oh, KSI's manager this stuff," and I didn't know who this person was. So I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. This is actually what I thought. Then when I put a face to the name, I'm like, okay, this makes sense. Seems like he's a connected guy, and yeah, I mean, he did apologize, but it seems like it was just to try to get, I think Tate's the new CEO to make him happy. And it seems like he's the one just negotiating the fight. So really, who's in charge of the organization? Really, who's affected by that is who's in charge. It's not really Ma'am. So what the deal fell through, then it is what it is. It's like this is not my organization.
Okay, so moving on then, you said to me earlier in the interview that you would do it again. With sort of stuff getting put out there, every now and again, sort of leaking stuff, so and so, do you have any intention of fighting, or
Of
is it
course I
something that
do.
you do?
Yeah, there's a fight out there with some dork who called me out and has been running away for a year. I accepted the fight, and then he started talking about the money and just ran away. And that stuff I think is fraudulent. I think applies to the same space, the same red pill.
And
The
sorry to
tape.
interrupt you, Sneako. Who is that person you're talking about there?
Not going to say the name. There's no point in mentioning. Just some co-host of a podcast, like
Oh,
essentially
Fresh and
like
Fit.
sure. And yeah, I don't want to. It's funny we were talking about like the loyalty thing of not, and you kind of whatever, but that was supposed to be it, and he didn't want to do it. So I mean, I would do a fight. I want to fight somebody who's like on a similar skill level, perhaps, especially my first fight, similar weight class. I mean, I'm not putting this one out of the table. A lot of my community doesn't really want to do it. They don't really see it worthwhile. I don't really need the money. I have money. I don't, sell my soul and promote gambling for money. So, but I'm still open to do it. If the number makes enough sense, if we could find out an actual weight. But right now, I walk around at 160. I was just speaking to Chase Samore. He said your
Mm.
fight weight's probably 145. I think Top Gore was fighting what 200. Walks around 220. I fought bigger guys before. Strickland was probably 230 when we sparred infamously. But yeah, that's my first fight. This guy's had what 80 kickboxing fights, and he just came off a loss, and he needs to get his reputation back. And, like on paper, it doesn't make sense.
Well, I guess being 160 and having to fight guys 200, I can sort of side with you in terms of the weight is quite a big difference there. The one person you're talking about earlier in the interview you didn't want to mention, that's probably a more fair fight, two people who are kind of relatively similar experience and close in weight. But if you were going to fight, are you leaning towards
No, I
Brandon?
just want to, yeah, just want Myron's one of my best friends. He's a great guy. No issue with him.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Would you be now leaning more towards the Brammer side of things or the Misfit side of things as of right now? I know you say you're sort of half-minded if you want to fight, if you don't want to fight. Which side do you sort of more lean towards for the platform?
Oh, brand risk, absolutely. Aiden Ross is a good friend of mine. I love brand risk. The events have been amazing. It's getting better every single time. I don't have equity in this. I'm not even getting paid to say that. I just think it's super dope. And I want to go fight somewhere I know the value that I bring. And now the world does too, when you're seeing what they're offering me. So for me to go a place where I'm not respected, that's just it's not something that I'm gonna jump into anymore if it doesn't make sense on paper. Brand risk is much better, and it's right here in Miami. That's where I'd ideally fight, but I'm open to other options.
A free agent. Um,
Absolutely.
in
A
terms
free
of
man. I've escaped the matrix, Fred. I'm a free man. I can play any music I want. I can show the text messages that I want. I can do what I want. Nobody has dirt. Nobody can do anything. No, this is a free man existing.
free man indeed. Um, in terms of starting 2026 with a bang, you certainly did manage to do that. In terms of streamers and people, in terms of pool, right? Obviously, the crossover boxing scene, Aiden Ross's events, Jake Paul's events, Mrs. events, you've got to have some level of pool. Do you believe that if you were to fight, you would be like top three biggest stars in the scene if you were to step in the ring?
Yeah, absolutely. And just look at what it is on paper. You saw the rest of the fighters were super upset. Why would you leak this? You're showing distance. Like, dude, I'm not a fucking fighter I'm not signed. Like, I can do what I want. And they're under NDAs and they get cease and desisted and the stuff. Yeah, I can do what I want. And these types of numbers, it's surely some of the highest. And influencer boxing is, like, let's be real, it's not an upward stock right now. It was supposed to be Jake Paul, KSI. They are not going to do it. KSI, he's back to YouTube videos. He chose to step away. Jake Paul is fighting Anthony. He just fought Anthony Joshua. So it's like influencer boxing. The best influencer boxers either stopped or became real boxers. Everybody else in the scene, it's funny, like the people that are getting upset, they're only known for being influencer boxers without doing any influencing. So they're basically just signed fighters on an organization and people don't know them outside of that because they're not making content because they're constantly in fight camp. If I was going to be in a fight camp, I'd have to take away from streaming. I wouldn't be able to do what I do at this level. So, of course, I'm definitely one of the most sought out fighters in the influencer world.
Yeah, it is a hard dynamic. So you've got to put so much time into the training, but then that time put into the training takes away from the time you're spending with your audience and the time you're actually doing content for. So everyone's got to find the right balance, but sometimes it does get pushed a little bit too far across to like less content and more training when you want to find the right balance, the right sort of way you want to go about things.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of your Andrew Tate relationship, not relationship, more friendship, sorry. I made the same mistake when I do in Nashville last year. You told me then you weren't friends, and then you sort of rekindled that friendship, and now you're not friends anymore. What's happening, Sneako? Where are you standing with Tate
Well,
nowadays?
yeah, there wasn't a friendship. So he invited me to this party. I went with Clav and these people. And he shook my hand. It's all on stream. And he said, there's no issue. There's no issue.
Mm.
Political disagreements. And I'm like, okay, yeah. He said, I'm defender of the third world because I said that Trump should invade Venezuela, which been vindicated about. Venezuela just sent $2 to $3 billion of oil to Israel. Said I'm defender of the third world because he got wrong about this attack that happened in England where he said, they're going to come and slaughter your daughter. I'm like, actually, this guy wasn't a foreign immigrant. He was a Muslim. He was Christian born and he's from Germany. Right. So you got a lot of this stuff wrong and it incited some riots, allegedly, in my opinion. So there was no friendship, but it's like when we saw face to face, he shook my hand and asked me and said, I want to do an artsy video in New York, right? I stream on the side for fun. I make videos. That's what I do. He said he wanted to do a video and he shook my hand when he left. 2 days later, he goes on the PBD thing and starts shit talking. Then he goes on an apology tour around the country every Steiny's podcast, this other guy, like all these podcasts, Bradley Martin, and just tries to slander my name and tries to lie and tries to, and when he was in my face, it was smiles and shaking hands. So this is the type of people that I'm dealing with.
I remember watching the stream, obviously Clav, you had Nick Fuentes, you saw everyone down at Tate's house there, and then there was no problem, and now there is a problem. You still call Clav, you still call Nick Fuentes, you still call the others, it's only you, Andrew, and Tristan who've kind of parted ways.
Well, it's never really parted ways because like it was never on. Anyway, yeah, Clav's one of my great friends. We talk every day. Nick Fuentes, one of my great friends. We talk every day as well. So that's that.
Did you see Tate and Clav streaming earlier?
I did.
Do you see they got the cops called on them?
No, they get swatted or what happened?
I think so. I think they got sorted, yeah. Which is why I guess IRL streaming. Do you get swatted a lot out in America, or do you know the police and you know to tell them this is not the case? Because I know Aiden had a big SWAT issue for a while.
Yeah, he has a better relationship with the Miami PD. Ever since this whole club situation, like when they threw me under the bus, I'm now banned from all the clubs and restaurants and hospitality groups in America, right? And some of these people, Noah Tepperberg is the CEO of Tao Group. He was just found on the Epstein files, especially after they found him after Epstein was first convicted of sex crimes in 2008, right? And so I'm not sure, like, if the police, especially when they put that out there, if they're going to be that favorable to me. But I've never committed a crime. I'm not. I don't have any charges. The Matrix is not attacking me that way for things. So I hope I'm fine. No, I haven't been swatted in a long time. Things have been good.
That's good. Yeah, swatting is pretty scary. But how come you're banned from all these clubs and Clav isn't?
Because he doesn't lean into politics to say he's not a political guy. He's reiterated that Clav is a mogger. He's just here to looks max. He's here to mog. He did meet with some people. I'm not gonna, he didn't. It didn't seem like he apologized, but also he just reiterated that he's not a political person. And I stream and I make my videos. I do a lot. But when I stream, I talk about world events. I go into the Epstein files. I'm trying to uncover what's going on, and I'm trying to escape the Matrix. Like that's what I do believe in this, and I have believed in it. That we should fight against oppressive systems. It doesn't seem like everybody is on the same page about that. So I really do believe in that, and I think that is why I am targeted amongst others.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I was thinking, how come you guys all went? But I guess Nick Fuentes never really goes to the club anyway, so it wouldn't matter if he was banned or not banned. But yeah, awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Sneako. I do appreciate it. I know you're pretty busy, so I appreciate your time a lot. I'll probably see you at the next Bramrisk event next month or the month
If I
after.
get in, if I get in.
Oh wait, did you not get allowed in last time?
Yeah, some guy at the front, some security guard said, "Oh, you know why you can't come in," and but it was also maybe it was a misunderstanding because
But
I said I wasn't
that
going
was
to
the
go.
tenth time between you and Aiden. Now you and Aiden are all cool, aren't you?
Yeah, it's always like that. We're like we're always arguing, but he did say that I could go in, but I was with Myron and we couldn't get him. So I didn't want to go leave him. He's my friend, so I stick up for my friends. I left with Myron,
But
but yeah, I
you
hope
guys will
so.
come
It's
next. You
gonna be
guys will
great.
come next time though.
Yeah, inshallah, God willing, well, hopefully, I hope so.
Okay.
I hope to see you there. It's always great to talk to you, man, Fred. I really appreciate your time. And next time I'll be right on time, and I'll see you soon, hopefully.
No, no worries. I'm happy to fit in your schedule. I know that you got to do a lot of streams. Sitting at your desk for 6 or 5, 6 hours is a lot harder than most people think. So yeah, thank you for having me, Sneako.
Well,
And
no, not just sitting at my desk. I do a lot of IRL streams. I put in.
no,
I'm doing
sorry,
eight
I didn't
hours.
mean no disrespect. I mean like doing streaming for a long period of time, talking to the camera is a lot more work than people think.
Yeah, no, I don't think you were, but I saw some of the fighters that are mad, like, oh, just go sit at your desktop and stream. It's like, nah, man, I'm outside every day. Like I'm always, I do a lot of content. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much. Talk soon.